So over the weekend, we got some unfortunate news that involved a Tesla Model S. There was a fatal crash in Texas. Now, I'm not underpinning the story. It's absolutely devastating what happened here. No one should have ever gone through this. I feel for the family. I really wish them all the best during these tough times. However, what I want to talk about in this video today is a lot of misinformation, a lot of irrationality that's out there, and just kind of clear things up. I just want to give you the facts here and kind of clear some of the lies, honestly, that's out there around the story, to kind of explain why I think the move today in Tesla stock is completely irrational. When news like this makes headlines, it's extremely scary. People, have emotions tied to this. People already kind of are on the fence about how they feel about Tesla, and how they see this and they're like, I'm never buying a Tesla. It's unfortunate, and the reality is it moves the stock price. Today, Tesla dropped below $700 per share once again. If you recall, last week we almost hit $800 per share. This is a volatile name, and it moves on any sort of news. But anyways, let me explain to you with facts on what actually happens here when it comes to Tesla's full self-driving and autopilot system. And then I also want to share with you some news from Goldman Sachs regarding Tesla stocks. You want to stick around for this entire video if you're either considering buying some Tesla stock or you're invested in Tesla stock today. If you're feeling a little bit panicked or uneasy with your position, I promise this video is going to calm you down a bit. So this is how the Wall Street Journal and many other news sources covered this news from the weekend. They essentially stated that it was a fatal crash, which is true, involving a Tesla, which is true, and that it was driverless. Okay, this is the part we got to talk about a bit more, but let me just jump over to Twitter here to show you what else I saw. It's even more rampant on there, with tweets stating that Autopilot is flawed and comes with a lot of crashes and is generally unsafe. So let's get the facts straight here, because I'm someone who personally owns a Tesla Model Y Performance. I've driven around 7,000 plus kilometers on my car so far. Majority of those kilometers has been on the Tesla Autopilot system, so I'll share my perspective and I'll explain to you exactly how this works. First though, let me just present to you some facts that you can't really dispute. So here's a graph showing the number of fatal crashes per manufacturer for every 1,000 cars sold, and if you look closely, Tesla is nowhere to be found on this graph. Yes, of course, Tesla sells much less cars, but this is based on per 1,000 cars, so theoretically it should be a fairly level playing ground. Now you may be wondering, why is this? Why is Tesla not on here? Everyone says it's so unsafe, right? These driverless cars just go and crash, right? Well, the thing is, Tesla's autopilot system, despite what the media wants you to believe, or people on Twitter want you to believe, or the bears want you to believe, it's around 10 times safer when engaged versus an average vehicle. If you drive Tesla with autopilot engaged, the data shows that chances of an accident is significantly reduced, like it's not even comparable, guys, versus a non-autopilot car. And there's a lot of rumors that, some of these crashes are kind of skewed in the sense that people have autopilot engaged, and then right before it crashes, the Tesla disables the autopilot, and when it crashes, the data is reported as a non-autopilot accident. I don't know, that seems to be a little bit far-fetched, a little bit out there. I'm sure people would have caught on by now with hard facts if that was actually the case and Tesla was actually being, dishonest with that. I personally don't think that's the case, and until I see, hard evidence showing otherwise, it's just, noise out there. But anyways, there's a lot of disconnect here when it comes to autopilot full self-driving, so let me explain how this works. When you purchase a Tesla, it comes with basic autopilot, which allows you to kind of stay in your lane, and, if there's a car in front, it'll slow down so it doesn't hit the car, that kind of stuff, right? But it doesn't do things like change lanes or recognize traffic lights, all that stuff. For that, you have to purchase the full self-driving option, which of course is still in beta. Now, regardless, when it comes to autopilot, every time you want to use autopilot, you have to engage it. And for you to be able to engage it, the car has to be able to recognize the road and the lanes on the road. If it doesn't recognize lanes, it won't let you engage it. It'll just throw a noise, a beeping sound, it won't engage. But once it recognizes the lane and once it knows where it's going, yes, it'll allow you to engage it. Now you may think, okay, once it's engaged, just sit back, relax, take a nap, and it'll take you, to the end of your destination or whatever, or just keep driving until you intervene. That's not true either. every 15 to 30 seconds, the car is going to ask you to give some pressure to the steering wheel. It's not just a simple touch the steering wheel and you're good to go. No, you actually have to apply a little bit of pressure, just move the wheel slightly, and that tells the car, okay, you're still there, we'll still continue on with the autopilot. If for whatever reason you don't react and you don't kind of move the steering wheel just a slight bit to tell the car you're there, it's gonna beep at you and let you know you got to touch this wheel right now to continue using autopilot. The main thing I want to get across is that you have to be paying attention and you have to be sitting in the driver's seat to be able to use autopilot. There's no other way around this unless you kind of maneuver something and you kind of bypass Tesla's system, but that's completely, at your own risk. A Tesla, by default, will not allow you to do that. So when you see news make headlines like no one was driving the car in this fatal crash, it gives a false impression that the car was in full self-driving mode, in autopilot mode, and it was driving itself. Again, today, this is not possible. The car cannot drive itself unless you are intervening every 15, 30 seconds or so. So this is completely misleading. The unfortunate reality though is people are gonna read those headlines and they're gonna say, wow, Teslas are so unsafe. Why would anyone want to get full self-driving in these cars? Why would anyone want to get a Tesla that can drive itself? Chances of an accident are so high. We hear these stories all the time. I'm never buying a Tesla. And unfortunately, that's just how it goes. But if you watch my channel, hopefully I was able to educate you here on how this actually works. And this whole issue here with them not being in the driver's seat was something that they did, to bypass Tesla's system, to bypass Tesla's security, to trick the car into thinking that somehow they're still in the driver's seat, and of course that resulted in the unfortunate news. Now, Wall Street knows that this is a huge buying opportunity. Goldman Sachs came out and maintained their buy rating on Tesla stock this weekend with a price target of $835 per share, which is well above today's price of around $700 per share. Now, also keep in mind, Tesla reports their earnings in about a week. We're gonna get a lot of news from those earnings, and a lot of people are expecting a blowout quarter from Tesla, so that could be a catalyst that sends the stock to Goldman Sachs' price target or possibly even further, maybe to new all-time highs. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, there's a lot happening with Tesla, guys, and if you're a shareholder, I hope this video kind of explained how things actually work, and hopefully that kind of eases you a bit. And honestly, at the end of the day, this is a buying opportunity in my mind. When you see irrational moves like this down 4, 5, 6% on misinformation, I love to load up on those opportunities. Anyways, hope this video was valuable. If it was, hit the like button down below, subscribe. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.